something of that nature. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are at the Sweetwater Empire here in beautiful Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm Greg Koch here for our Fishman friends who have come up with a revolutionary new guitar pickup, electric guitar pickup. And I just showed you a little while back. Perhaps you didn't watch these in order. It really doesn't matter. I did the classic single coil. Now I have the classic humbucker. The Fluence technology, the Fluence core, is a revolutionary new way of making pickups that does not involve copper windings. It's made up of stacked circuit boards. A guy in the aerospace engineering sphere of influence, if you will, was a guitar player that came up with this technology and said, hey, you know, you can make pickups out of this. So one way or another, Larry Fishman ended up with this technology and used the brain trust out there in Boston. Let me tell you, these people are so smart. Their heads are massive, but it's a good look. Anyway, so they were able to utilize this technology and create what I think is probably the most useful guitar pickup ever made, because you get multiple voices. In the case of the humbuckers, you get, one of the things that people don't understand, and I'll try to be quick because God doggone it, I can go for 3 hours here. Old Les Pauls, if you ever get a chance to play an old burst Les Paul, they're a very bright sounding guitar. I mean, the pickups were underwound, so they had this kind of quasi single coil tone. For lack of a better term, they sounded like meaty Telecasters. I'm just gonna say it, all right? They were meaty Tellies. That's why guys like Bloomfield and Jimmy Page and Joe Walsh, who were Telly guys, made the swift transition to the Les Pauls of the late 50s because they were bright sounding guitars. Somewhere that got lost in the lineage. Of course, the stuff that certain companies making now, the big G's, making stuff that's great, that sounds fantastic. But the old pickups that a lot of people my age, which is of course very young, played Les Pauls of the 70s and 80s, they were kind of a high output, mid-rangey sounding guitar. These pickups harken back to the original humbuckers that you can go between the sound of a glassy Seth Lover, if you will, the original creator of the PAF sound, an underwound glassy pickup, which I was playing initially on this neck pickup. You get this nice glassy. It just sounds very, very articulate. And when you go back to the bridge pickup, you get this nice. Again, kind of like a meaty Telecaster. But the great thing about these pickups is that if you want a little extra gas, you have two different modes of operation. If I have this push-pull switch down, it's more of an underwound bridge pickup. If I want a little bit more gas, I pop this up and it sounds a little bit more high gainy. And the great thing about it is the way these pickups operate is you don't lose any high-end frequency when you turn down the volume, and the taper is superb on the volume controls. So you don't have to modify your guitars by adding that bleed switch, which I always do to my guitars. You don't lose any high end when you turn the volume down. The consistency of these pickups is unparalleled because you're not dealing with, you know, a special person winding the pickups at a certain time of day after they just ate at some eating establishment that provided certain enzymes on their hands that made the secret mojo tone that was only available in late 1958 in July or something. You know, there's all this voodoo about pickups. No longer is that the case with these style of pickups. The consistency is down to, I forgot what the percentage is, but it's ridiculous. And so they make the classic single coils, which we demonstrated earlier, the classic humbuckers, and then there's the modern humbucker, which is kind of the more metal-oriented sound. Again, those are pickups that are more consistent and silent and free of all the different negative things you'd have with pickups that are more of the active, high-gain thing that the kids like, which make you instantly grow a mullet and or wear spandex just by plugging them in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not. Anyway, so those particular pickups have two different voices, and the kids love them. So anyways, Greg Koch here at the Sweetwater Lair, beautiful Fort Wayne, Indiana, for Fishman with these new Fluence pickups. Check them out, y'all. Your Sweetwater sales engineer will hook you up. Dig it. Later, cats.